Hey, what's up? It's been a minute. I'm going to give you an update on what I've been working on. So, everything's kind of covered up. Got the FD, got the compression back up, let it sit in ATF for about 3 weeks, turn it over by hand every few days. So, it still needs a downpipe, needs a tune. But I'm hitting 90 on the front rotors on compression. The rear one was like 80s and 90s, which is not ideal, but it has been sitting. Hopefully after it dries a little bit, it'll start coming back to life. So I'm going to do a lot more letting it run and stuff like that. Try to see where I can get it. Cosmo's just sitting. I haven't done nothing with it. 2009 R6. I put 2020 plastics on it. These are the track fairings. I got tired of the two-tone blue look that it had. This is just mocked up. I'm trying to gain to see if I like the way it looks. I'm gonna have to put a headlight in it. The duct actually does line up with the factory snorkels. Got me a gas tank cover, which they just now started selling on eBay from China. I didn't want to paint the metal gas tank. You can't just swap the covers out, so you have to paint the gas tank. Luckily enough, now that they make the covers, I can just throw a cover on it, paint the cover if I want. Probably going to go black with the bike and then paint it with a candy apple red look. So, like I said, that's just mocked up. I kind of like how it looks. I don't want to be in the camera too much, in the way, I guess. I like the way it looks. Kind of 50-50 on it. I like it, but something don't look right. And I'm thinking it's because of the tail section. But yes, you can get 2020 fairings to fit a 2009. As far as headlights and all that stuff goes, I have no idea. This is a track set, so don't have any of that. I'm going to put the projector headlight right in the snorkel. That way it'll match my R7. Cosmo has been good. It's just been sitting. We went to DGRR. I don't think I've moved it since. I don't really drive it that much. One thing we started doing that I didn't really get on camera too much, I might have touched a little bit on another video, is started working on the RX8. Pulled the motor out of it, dropped off 2.5 motors to Rotary Resurrection, and gave him pretty much most of the rebuild stuff. I didn't have everything, but I had a good bit. So on the RX8 motor, we went with a street port. The irons were supposedly already street ported from KMR or Mazda Tricks, but it seemed like they only ported the faces. They didn't port the runners. So I did pay Rotary Resurrection to finish the complete porting on it. He said the faces looked okay, but he went ahead and he did all the runners. He ported the lower intake sleeves to match the new port job. And this is the motor right here. I just picked it up yesterday. I went with the blue and black combo, last minute pick. Kind of was like, nah, maybe I don't want that. But then after I seen it, it looks good. Put the freshly cleaned intake manifold on, bolted it up, and I painted it black to match. As far as the exhaust, I have a header. And one thing that we looked at whenever we started tearing the motor apart up at his shop was that the exhaust gasket actually comes into the port holes, like it blocks. So he was like, yeah, these gaskets are crap. And I agree. I 100% agree. They may seal, but they also block off your exhaust flow. And one thing is that the RX8 lacks is the exhaust flow. So be warned if you do buy one of those manifolds. They're only $30 now if you get on the it's like Shark website. And I thought it was too good to be true, but I ordered it just hoping, and I got it like 3 days later. So there's a Shark website, and it's like Shark something. I don't remember the website, but you could Google RX8 manifold header or whatever, and they're like $38 shipped to you, which is, I don't even know how they're doing that, because shipping would be $15 alone. So I don't know how they're making any money. But it looks identical to the cracked racing beat that I did have on there. So I'm going to give it a shot. I still got my racing beat. I can have it welded if this one fails on me. One thing I did get, I got it yesterday in the mail. So I got me a roll of exhaust wrap. So I will wrap the manifold, and I'm going to black it out. That way it matches the rest of the engine combo. Right now we've been just doing the accessories on everything. So I got the intake on, like I said. Got the agency power underdrive pulley on yesterday. I got to put all the rest of the accessories on. But what I did do is I matched the exhaust gasket, since it interferes with the ports. I matched it to the ports, and I ported it out with a Dremel. It was a carbide bit, but I ported that gasket out to match. And I had some copper gasket sealant, the adhesive, the spray. So I went ahead and sprayed both sides of that gasket down, so that gasket should be good for an exhaust now. And it should flow better than it would have. So that's the project. That's the update. And we got like a week off for 4th of July. So hopefully me working on like an hour here and an hour there every night on this engine, just putting alternator on or injectors in and small things like that here and there. Hopefully we'll have everything ready to go for the 4th of July week and have her going in. And I'll end that video here, but I just figured I'd give y'all an update and let y'all see how beautiful this engine was. And I'll get another shot at the end.